Happy Friday the 20th, October. Coming into another storm front. We have it's supposed to be just a rainy weekend. It's supposed to, be, and it's going to hit the roads. It's going to hit a lot of the driving conditions. It's just fall in Washington. It's beginning of the storm season, Halloween. It's got to live with it. It's the way it is around here. It's not like Arizona where you get sun 24/7 and, rain and snow are very rarely seen. Except for the time that I was, the first or second time that I was in Arizona, I was at the Grand Canyon and it snowed. And this was May, springtime, but it was snowing. And, I understand that Flagstaff is of higher elevation than other parts of Arizona, but it was snowing. Like my first or second time in Arizona, it was snowing. And, it's just, you think Arizona, you think sun, hot weather, dry. But no, that wasn't the case. I woke up, went camping. It was cold, but I got to Arizona, set up camp. It was colder at night, understandable, and woke up the next morning and just coated in snow. And I just kind of laughed at that. I just thought, of course, come from Washington State to Arizona, it rarely snows, and it snows. But that's what we have going on this weekend. Also, we have our annual family trip to the pumpkin patch this weekend, and made more of an effort to. I kind of talked people into the importance of, when we grew up, we weren't close with our families. Like I explained yesterday, when my grandfather passed away, it was a sad moment because it's the loss of my dad's dad, but at the same time it was a man who I barely knew, and there's no blame to place anywhere. It's nobody's fault. It's just the fact that I just didn't know him. Met him maybe twice in my life. He never really got a chance to know me other than what my parents told him, my dad told him, and aunts and uncles and all that. But it's like, to truly get to know somebody, you have to have that personal relationship. You have to have that quiet time with someone to just talk about things that you can't really talk about on the surface, because we have those relationships and those those meetings with people where it's just surface stuff, like, how's your day? How's the wife and kids? Good. Cool. Awesome. Have a great day. And then there's other times where you actually get down to the nitty gritty about, it's a guy that I work with, and we have something in common in the fact that we both lost a biological parent, and talked to him on that level a little bit more, and got to understand that, there is grief that goes along with it. And he was surprised that I only took 1 week off, and for me it was just, spending 8 or 9 straight days in a house that, your parent used to live, that no longer will live in, and no one else will live in, that, you're related to. It's going to go to the next renter, And my mom didn't own a home. I don't think she ever owned a home. Sadly, I just don't think she ever did. She may have owned one with my dad, but, when they divorced, it was over with. And my parents back then, they weren't rich and they didn't have much money. I think they actually rented homes their entire life. So I don't think my mom ever owned a house. So, going through her house, spending 9 days in there in a row, you just need a break from that monotony. And, going to work for me was therapeutic, because it helped me kind of break it up a little bit and not just spend time in a home and, not kind of get sick of a place, because you get sick of a place no matter how long you spend in there. I mean, after my daughter was born, I spent, I had 3 weeks at home for parental leave. No, it was 2 weeks. I had 2 weeks, and for me, it was. I love being home with my daughter and my girl and everything like that. But there was a time it was just, the same routine every single day. I just needed a change of pace a little bit, and so I decided to go back to work. And for me, that kind of breaks up the monotony and instills a little bit of change in there, and and get your mind back going. But you can create a routine anywhere you go or do whatever you do. But, for me, it was going back to work. And so, he was surprised that I took only 1 week instead of 2. And for me, I'm just glad not to be there anymore. I just needed a break from it. And it's allowed me to think a little bit more about, how much, because the thing is, when she was around, I didn't really think of these childhood memories that, you think about when after someone passes away. You kind of really go into detail about the good times you had growing up. And the thing is, while we're alive, we don't really do that, unfortunately. And, when she was alive, I didn't really think much about the childhood memories because I didn't know her time was of the essence, And when she passed away, all those childhood memories that I had, not really thought about much, just came flooding and rushing in. And now it's trying to remember and try to think about as many of those memories as possible, because that's all that I have left. I mean, that's what I have to go on from here on out. Those are the memories that I have. I can't make any more with her. That's what I have. And so I have to dig up as many memories as I possibly can and make the most out of them, and just try to remember the details about them and talk about them with other people that may have been there, who may be able to shed a little bit more light on the situation. Maybe I didn't remember a certain fact or a certain detail, and they could kind of fill in that, like about a Christmas where we all had together. Maybe I'll remember one thing and not remember something else, and someone else will throw in their memory, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that, cool. So now I remember something else about it. So that's what we have. And so having those details to talk about and just to think about more, like driving to work every day, to and from work. This person is all over the road. Watch out for you. So it's just, you get the to and from work drive that I have doing this. It's like, it allows me to reflect on things, because I don't talk to myself really. I don't really sit at work and dwell on things. This is the time of the day where I get to think, and it starts the day off thinking about things. And so for me, it's good. And so, going back to work was a blessing in disguise for me. I just needed it. But, we're starting to get the final stages of things put together. Ordered the rings yesterday for her remains. We're gonna put her remains in a number of locations. Each of the brothers will get smaller urn of their choosing, and a little ring that we have for just to hold something close and to be with us at all times, and something to be at home, to look over the home, and to be there during dinner, Christmas or Thanksgiving or something, for family events, to have our mom there. And then we're going to take her ashes and scatter the rest in the ocean. I actually spoke to one of her friends. I knew she was talking to her again. It was a childhood friend that we had growing up. We met through, I believe, my brother's baseball team. So this would have been when I was in middle school. And they hit it off, they clicked. They were good friends for a while. And then they quit talking, and then she actually, in the last few years, kind of reached out to me and said, I was looking to, get back in touch with your mom. And I said, okay, cool. This is her information. And they've been talking for, 2-3 years now, catching up on things. And, they have similar situations going on now where they were both the caretakers of their grandchildren. But she was in contact with them again, and they sort of rekindled a friendship and a relationship. And so she didn't know until a while, like a week afterwards, that my mom had passed. And then it's just because I just announced it on Facebook on Monday, and then we didn't really publicize it too much, and I didn't really know of all the people my mom's contacts, because she just didn't keep a record of all that stuff. I did have the numbers that, the last couple of numbers she called and received calls from on her phone, but other than that, though, there wasn't much to go on. And so there's only a few people I can really think about that I might need to reach out to. And the funny thing is, I can't find one of their informations anywhere, so it's like I most likely have to write them a letter. This person lives out in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and it's just, I don't know all the details of my mom's life, and she didn't keep a record of a lot of things, and so a lot of it's just it's going to come in and trickle in here and there, and it's not going to be a flooding of information, and everyone's going to receive it in a timely fashion. It's going to be, here and there, a little bit here and there. I'm going to have to explain it to people over and over again, and that's just the situation at hand. So that's what I'm going to have to do. But it's coming to things becoming to get wrapped up here. The bill for the cremation and the funeral home and everything like that's been pretty much taken care of. And all the urns and everything like that. It's just one of the final steps is to pick it up next week, and to scatter the ashes and Veterans Day weekend, and that's the culmination of it. We're going to spend time with our family that I haven't seen since my other grandparent died, a few years ago, and it's just hopefully be able to get us together and develop an understanding that, look, family's family, and I believe that we need to put more of an effort into communicating with each other, and I have been doing that with my family, and it's just we need to see more of it from other people, and but then again, it's their choice. They don't have to do anything. It's just for us to be close and to actually maybe see each other under circumstances that don't involve a funeral or a death would be great. Even if it's a family reunion or something, that'd be nice to set something up like that. But to each his own, but to make the effort to speak to them in person and kind of get that point across that it's important to me and the family, and maybe we can start working on that together would be great. But, as we come onto the weekend, it's been a great week, a good week anyway. Things have been progressing. I still feel, I still have my moments, and the pain will never go away, but at the same time, it's just, it has allowed me to focus extra attention on the past and the memories that we had, and the fact that that's all that I have, and so it's important for me to remember those times and to cherish them and to pass them down to her granddaughter, my daughter, and if I have grandkids, to let them know, to get her, who she was, where I came from, and why I am the way that I am, and so it's important. But it's been a decent week. Looking forward to the pumpkin patch this weekend, and just looking forward to getting things moving forward, and hopefully trying to tie up some loose ends and get some, try to get some mutual understanding between the family. We need to put more effort into communicating with each other, and it's and doing it just on Facebook just is not cutting it. So I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. Spend time with your loved ones, and if you do have a mother, or a family member, reach out to them, talk to them, say that you love them, say that you're thinking about them, and just know that time is of the essence. We don't have a lot of time on earth, and the time that we do have, we have to make the most of it, and that memories are important, and we should be making them every single day. So have a great day, happy Friday, have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.